We're particularly pleased to be hosting a discussion this evening on the future of collecting for museums. We've been through a year where we've had punk rock groups here, screenings of Psycho, all sorts of very interesting events. So I'm sure that my colleagues here are very pleased that we'll be actually digging into the work of museums. But that in fact begs another question, and that is that museums are at a very transformational and transitional point right now. Many of us are experiencing the need to really invigorate our audiences, to attract new people, to find new energy for our museums, while retaining the very thing that makes us unique and special, and that is our collections, our ability to interpret, collect objects, artifacts, natural history collections. So this evening is a very interesting moment for us, as our institution has been contemplating its role, what museums are for and what they do, and we think this will be a very interesting discussion to sort of dig into some of those issues. There are particular concerns for artifact-based collecting institutions versus art museums. So tonight we have three leaders from museums on the west side of the city. We're very excited to have those of us on the other side tonight together. I think Anthony Shelton has coined that, the other side museum. So we'd like to start creating some interest and some energy for those of us on the west side of the city. And this talk was also inspired by our current feature exhibit, Ravishing Beasts, that looks at the practice of taxidermy, but it's also our collection that has been hasn't been seen some of the objects for decades. And so it has led us to question what we're doing with our collections, how we bring new life to older collections, and for instance, what we would do with taxidermy collections where there isn't necessarily a huge role for that in a lot of our exhibits. Finally, we're really interested in hearing tonight from our three cultural leaders about the sort of major challenges in terms of collections. We've asked each speaker to provide some recent examples of acquisitions, and we'd like to sort of lead some questions around what's on the horizon for these collecting institutions.